little chat about my approach to wedding content. My story with wedding content actually didn't start just when trends came about. It's actually been almost a decade of me being obsessed with pressing record and creating content. And before wedding content was even a thing in Ireland, it's so funny that I actually, when I was doing social media management, used to record wedding content technically in promotion for weddings in one of the venues that one of my clients had. And then I was one of the first in Ireland to even offer wedding content, especially around like Louth, Meath, the north of Ireland, Donegal, that kind of all up the northeast. Part of my degree actually covered photography and videography. However, I am definitely a shot on iPhone kind of gal now. I love warm tones in my edits, especially when people go for that really like golden nostalgia kind of glow. However, I also do love a classic timeless black and white moment. And if you're a couple who's got a gallery from me, you know that I love a black and white moment. And whenever people put on their forms that they love vintage film kind of video edits, I get so excited. However, in saying that, I do shoot with couples all across Ireland and all different kinds of couples. So I do shoot with your kind of like vibe of your that you want for your day and your personality in mind, so that when you look back at not only the original contents but your edits as well, it really feels like you. I was the kid that was always a dedicated family photographer for any event and occasion, and because of that I feel like I'm really hyper aware of any connections in the room. Even though for me personally, over the last almost 3 years of doing wedding content, TikTok trends have definitely become few and far between as it's kind of evolved. I'm always up for a bit of fun and doing TikTok trends on your day. However, I feel like my real focus is in them in between moments with the people that are there with you on the day. One of my favorite quotes is the one that says, when you look back you'll realize that the small moments were actually the big moments. And on your wedding day, every guest is there for a reason. Could be 150, 200 people in a wedding room. I'm not going to know a couple's connection to every single person that's there on their wedding day. So that's why it's really important for me to capture all the in-between moments, chatting and laughing with people. Even though they might not necessarily make the formal wall portraits, it's important that you have those little moments to look back on with the people who make up your everyday life. On the day, my goal is to be very collaborative with the rest of the media team. I know for myself and a lot of other wedding content creators, we usually kind of let the photographer lead, especially when it comes to the not so candid moments like your couple shoot, which is why I always recommend you should find a photographer and a wedding content creator or a videographer who has a similar style, so that your day and your content just kind of looks seamless overall. Unless you want to go for completely different styles, then that's up to you. However, if I'm shooting solo, we will absolutely still be doing a couple shoot, one that might be a little bit more relaxed and laid back than a full photographer shoot, but we'll come up with the vision that you want for your day together. I can't believe that this year is going to be 3 years since I started creating wedding content, and from day one until now I still treat every day like it's the most important story I'll ever tell, because to you it is. And I can't wait to capture your big and small moments.